is a brilliant man, intelligent, the finest of his time. But he made one fundamental error. The fact that black people have black skin doesn't mean we are all one people. It doesn't mean that. Are all white people the same? Do you know that the social welfare system in France cannot work in Britain? One believes in pure free market economy, the other one believes in intervention from the state. That is called the Keynesian and the Smith school. The supply siders and the demand siders. You've heard about Keynes, haven't you, in economics? And you heard about Adam Smith. These are two opposing schools of thought in economics, that you can use demand to stimulate the economy, or that you cannot actually allow supply to determine what happens within an economy. Laissez-faire and interventionist approach. Britain opts for the more middle ground, I would say, laissez-faire approach. Whereas in France, they believe in intervening. Two of them can even be in the same country. Didn't UK leave the EU? These are white Christians, democratic nations in Europe. They don't agree. Talk less of people that don't know the meaning of democracy. That is what I'm trying to get black Africans to understand. That your value system is what binds you together. That's what glues you together. Not because a white man said so. Because look at it, said, you, from today your name is Nigeria. You don't have to agree with it. Because Ted Heath that took Britain to EU is dead. Today, was it not Cameron that brought them out of it? Of course, it's got to be Theresa May. These are the things that blacks don't understand. When I attend lectures in England, when my lecturer is speaking, I listen. I don't regurgitate every nonsense in the textbook. I listen and I reason. These are the things lacking in black people, and we are seeking to correct that this very year. Nnamdi Kanu made a very big mistake. The social arrangements they have in northern Nigeria makes it impossible for their leaders to appreciate and respect democratic values, such as you have somebody respecting the rule of law. They cannot. Freedoms and liberties, they don't know the meaning of it. That is why a 70-year-old man can marry a 13-year-old girl by force. That is why Boko Haram came out and said no to Western education. They force their views of life on other people. We are Republicans, we don't do it. And can never, ever do it. These noble ideas of democracy are incompatible with Sharia. The sooner you understand this, the better. As long as you have Sharia, you cannot be a Democrat. Anywhere there is Sharia, anywhere in the world, they are not Democrats. The sooner Yoruba media understand this, the better. But of course, there are Yoruba Muslims that crave and yearn for Sharia. True federalism, particularly in Nigeria, is unrealistic. Where 12 states have already adopted Sharia as state religion and code of justice, which denies non-adherence of that religion certain freedoms guaranteed by the military-imposed Nigerian constitution. Isn't it very ironic? You have the constitution of Abdul Salami Abubakar, the militaristic constitution of 1999, where the provisions of the constitution is at odds with Sharia in the north. The Sharia overrides the constitution, whereas the constitution is meant to be the all and all. Do you understand what I don't know if people are understanding what I'm saying. Maybe I'm not explaining it very well this evening. I don't know. I said, you have a constitution. They make laws. You know, Ike Kureman and not the rest of them. They say, yeah. And they share their 18 million every month. And they go home. They make laws. Those laws, where they are in contradiction with the Sharia of the 12 Fulani states in the north. All that nonsense in the Senate is rubbish. They throw it away. If not, why would they destroy you and I in the same country? Ikechukwu is here with me, so I'm using him as an example. I don't drink. I don't like alcohol, but Ikechukwu drinks and he likes alcohol. When Ikechukwu goes out to buy alcohol, he pays tax on it, and they use that alcohol to treat me. They tax on the alcohol to give me treatment. But Ikechukwu comes to my hometown. Maybe they transferred him as a worker to my hometown. He, on entering my hometown, he was caught somewhere drinking beer, and they arrested him and jailed him. And I, the beneficiary of the VAT from his drinking, is in support of his incarceration. I don't know if that makes any sense to any human being. That's what's happening in the north. They say you shouldn't drink beer. You can see them destroying cartons upon cartons and bottles of beer. But Kanu State is the largest beneficiary of VAT. But Yoruba media will not say anything about it. Do you see how evil Nigeria is? You rob Peter to pay Paul. If I go to drink beer, you say I'm a Nigerian, but I cannot go to Kanu to drink beer openly. Why? Is there any law stopping me from consuming any beverage? The answer is no. Why are you stopping me in Kanu, where you benefit directly from the VAT coming from beer sales? Only in Nigeria. Conversely, restructuring has defied every sensible definition. Nobody can define it. That is why simple referendum is the only way forward. Come to think of it, was it not a federal arrangement or the federation that Nigeria had at independence? But it did not even survive up to 6 years. What then is the new true federalism that world is talking about? I want to know. Explain it to us. Restructuring, let them leave Biafra and join restructuring. Restructure what to what? From what to what? I'm asking you. What are you restructuring? Oh, you mean an additional state where one of your Awasa slaves will be the governor, answering to Awasa people with a Fulani police inspector. With a Fulani police inspector. That when IPOB decide to march on the street, they destroy us. We don't believe in restructuring. Restructuring will become unworkable because it failed in the past. What we need is a referendum. Let the people decide the type of country they want to have. I have nothing against those wishing to live under the Fulanized British colonial contraption called Nigeria, as most Yoruba and Fulani people do. What I resent is the inability, or should I say, the unreasonableness of the chattering class in Nigeria to come to the inescapable realization that no country with a myriad of divergent value systems can peacefully coexist as a nation state. It is impossible. And I mean, impossible. This elementary political philosophy that everybody ought to know about, every political scientist ought to know this. Everybody knows this. What determines those you fuse together is your value system. Not even your religion, your value system. I believe in freedom, and Awasa man doesn't believe in freedom. So my daughter can play football for Nigeria. But the daughter of a Hajia in the north cannot play football because you don't want another man to see her legs. Does that make any sense to anybody? Some of these things are there, but you have refused to reason. This is why I call you Zoo. You have refused to reason. Meaningful human development in Nigeria is impossible because the Fulani feudal mindset, Yoruba monarchical system, because there they have monarchy. You know, they have all this Kabiyesi. And the Republican disposition of Biafrans are forever irreconcilable value systems that will ensure the unworkability of Nigeria as a country from now till the kingdom come. I am a Republican. My Yoruba friends believe in their monarchy. They bow down when they see somebody. I like that. It's a sign of respect. I love it. Awosa Fulani. Believe in whatever it is that they feel. What's that thing they do in the north? Rankadede. In the morning you come with your bowl you come with your empty bowl, and Al-Haji will give you porridge you eat. You will do rankadede. You don't go to school. That is why they have nomadic schools and Alamajiri schools that Jonathan funded extensively. Why do you think they have all of that? They don't believe that men are born equal in the north. If you're born a street beggar, you will give birth to a street beggar. That's what they believe in the north. That's why they have nomadic schools and Alamajiri schools. But where we come from, everybody wants to better themselves. Equality across the board. They don't have it in the north. And let me ask you, they say Nigeria is a republic, which is an anomaly. How can Nigeria be a republic with all this, His Royal Highness this, Lower Highness that? How is that possible? Even they've not even resolved that very simple contradiction. You don't know if you, all the Royal Highnesses that you have, of course my father included, does it mean we are living in a monarchical system or we are living in a republican system? I can't get it. Even that simple contradiction, you cannot even resolve it. I want to talk about restructuring. In America, do you have kings and chiefs? This is king this of this. This is her royal majesty of this. Because America is a republican state. It's a republic, so to speak. France is a republic. England is not a republic. Britain is not. That's why you have the Duke of Devonshire. You have the Duchess of Kent and all the rest of them. You have the Queen. The same as them. You have monarchs, same as Denmark. Here you don't know if you're a republic or if you're a monarchy. You have no idea. And you want to dabble into restructuring. You cannot even solve a simple problem. You want to go into restructuring. Misguided people, poorly educated people, I hasten to add. This is pure elementary philosophy. Everybody knows this. Irreconcilable value systems. It is tantamount to fusing. Imagine bringing England, Saudi Arabia, and USA into one country. Is that possible? Is that possible? That's what they're trying to do to us. You bring a part of Afghanistan, you bring a part of Kenya, you bring people from USA, you mix them together, say, oh, now you are one country, your name is Nigeria. It's not possible because the way a Fulani man solves a problem is different from how I will solve it as a Biafran. Simple and short. It will never ever work. It's like, I just want you to imagine this. Transplanting a portion of sword-wielding Kandahar province in Afghanistan, a piece of the monarchy supporting East Anglia in England, and a part of the Republican, gun-loving libertarian Texas in the USA, and form one country out of it. In the morning you ask a Texan to courtesy, to bow before the Queen or bow before the King. He'll probably shoot you, first of all. You don't know that those that founded the USA are from England? You don't know that? What did they leave? They said all men were created equal by God. No king, no queen. They went to, these are English people. They went to America. They founded a new nation. It was a child of an English man, migrant, George Washington, that liberated them from England. People and their useless sentiment. They said, we are Americans now. So you don't know that America is the extension of England? But they said, we don't need queen, we don't need king, we don't need your highness, your lowness, we don't need your lordship here. Everybody's hi, hello, hi, hello. If you won't answer, you go. And now you're beginning to understand it, isn't it? Maybe we should be charging people for coming to IPOB to listen to Radio Biafra. This is the best university in the whole world, bar none. bar none, and it is free. Courtesy of IPOB, it is free. It will be like returning humanity to some kind of Hobbesian, state of nature by Hobbes, where life will be truly hellish, brutish, and short. These same irreconcilable, divergent, and often conflicting conditions are what we are being forced to endure in the British artificially created Nigeria today due to a combination of poor education, inability to reason properly, and dependency on one natural resource for national economic survival. Nigeria will never ever be a viable nation because the ethnicities the British cobbled together are not the same people and can never ever be. Even Britain, that created Nigeria, have respect for ethnic nationalities in their own country. Scotland and Wales have their own parliament. They make their own laws in their own languages. But Britain can never tell Awasa Fulani, allow these people to be free. No, never. But in your own country, Britain, Scotland is free from England. Wales is free from England. They have their own laws. They raise their own taxes. But Britain, England cannot advise Fulani to do the same thing. Do you know why? Because they don't see you black people as human beings. You are animals. Do you know that Scotland retains the right to become independent? Now, I'm asking Britain this. If Scotland can be allowed to determine their own future, why not Biafra? Oh, no, because the freedom they're talking about is for only white people. It's not for blacks. No, Biafra is black people. We control you. God gave you to us as our slaves. We do with you as we like. That was why we handed over to Fulani. We cannot colonize Nigeria directly, so we use the Fulani to do the colonization for us. Because they are dumb. They don't know anything. Name one Fulani scientist. Name one Fulani poet. Do you know any? Name one Fulani popular musician. Name one person. Don't even know if it's Arabic music or Fulani music. The British can give Scotland autonomy, but they cannot advise Fulani to do the same with Biafra. Ask yourself, why? Within the answer lies everything you're looking for. They are afraid of Biafra. They know that Biafra will put everybody to shame, with or without oil and gas. We don't need it. Fulani, I give you a challenge. Take all the oil and gas and give us our freedom. After 5 years, you'll be looking for a visa to come to Biafra land. And they know it. They know it. Ask yourself, why are the privileges enjoyed by Scotland not extended to Biafra? There lies the meaning and the answer to everything that you need to know regarding how you are regarded by the British. Perhaps Nigerians are subhumans, not deserving of such an opportunity. The way Nigeria and most other similarly backward states in Africa were created is not how nations are formed or created. We all know that. It's not how they are formed or created. These unnatural colonial experiments in Africa is the reason why the continent will continue to struggle until an intelligent breed of people rise up like IPOB to return it to its pre-colonial borders. Let everybody go back to where they were before the white man came, and you see progress in Africa overnight. Only then also will Africa know peace. With the benefit of hindsight and history, I make bold this very 1st of January 2019 evening to say that anything short of a referendum would be duplicitous and futile. The earlier people stopped deceiving themselves on this, the better for all oppressors and the oppressed alike. In my time since this struggle, I have come to the realization that Biafra means different things to different people. To northern Nigerian Muslims, especially the Fulbe elite, that's the Fulani elite, it means armed rebellion as well as a design to deny them free will access to the vast oil and gas deposits we have in Biafra land. To the Yoruba, Biafra is a selfish desire by Igbos to control oil and gas. For the stranded middle belt minorities, Biafra signifies abandonment. I know, I can understand, and I share the fear of the middle belt. They fear the exit of Biafra will precipitate their inevitable annihilation at the hands of their Fulani overlords, who will blame them. Once Biafra goes and Wahanako Fuf, Fulani will slaughter them. So I understand. So they should come with us instead, and we will defend them. To us, to we, the children of light, IPOB, Biafra means a right to self-determination, self-preservation, and ultimately a right to become autonomous and live in peaceful neighborliness with anything from the north, be it Arewa or Nigeria, whatever it's called, in a new compact that will ensure prosperity and fairness to all sides. The path to what we desire and the non-violent means to achieving it is neither new nor treasonable, as the Nigerian presidency continues to believe. It is the same path that saw the birth of many new nations around the world, most notably after the end of the Cold War. It is the only path to peace. We have succeeded in dismantling the colonial divide and rule the British colonial masters introduced to their southern Nigeria, which the Fulani oligarchy perpetuated through their gerrymandering of our borders that divided Igbo families and turned them against each other. Today it is no longer in dispute that a 1K Igbo in Edo State, Abo in Delta State, and through to Asaba, Onisha, through to Ikwere and Opobo are all Igbo-speaking people and therefore of the same family. There is nothing like Delta Igbo. Mad people. We are one family. This year, 2019, we shall begin taking the first tangible steps into nationhood. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure our referendum is conducted this year. The process of extensive referendum consultation was not concluded in good time last year to enable us to hold it. Again, the cost implications made it impossible for us to complete the printing and production of our ballot papers, but we shall continue to work very hard to ensure its completion. Referendum is a very costly, resource-intensive exercise, and we want to get it right the first time because that will usher in the new Biafra government, even if it has to operate from outside the shores of Biafra land. The whole world knows that Nigeria is a glorified graveyard for talent and aspirations. Too many people have been stopped from attaining their potential in life because of the culture of mediocrity and impunity that permeate every sphere of human interaction in Nigeria. Stripped of every shred of honor and dignity, we march into the Mediterranean Sea to drown like lemmings off a cliff. After trekking through the unforgiving Sahara Desert, where the weak and unfortunate perish. This is the life of your average Nigerian youth with no hope or future. In response to the democratization of poverty and death in Nigeria, IPOB will be launching a social welfare public works scheme across the length and breadth of Biafra land in an effort to use our God-given talent and skills to develop and improve our land even prior to the coming of Biafra. Because political office holders we had hoped would do it for us are more preoccupied with stealing as much of our commonwealth as possible. We, IPOB, are going to do the little we can to stop our young people from trekking from our land to Europe that have resulted in the death of so many young people. This scheme will equally address the issue of lack of infrastructure, as IPOB will embark on minor road repairs, the rehabilitation of dilapidated primary schools, maintenance of drainage systems in areas prone to flooding due to blockages in the sewage system like Aba, Owerri, Onisha, Abakaliki, and Iguacha. A welfare outreach team will be created to provide assistance in public places to those who cannot help themselves. There will be massive job creation in various sectors of the economy where raw materials can be locally sourced to help drive down the rate of unemployment, especially among young graduates. Our people, towns and villages will be our top priority as we begin to demonstrate the mindset that will guide us into Biafra. It's no longer about saying IPOB one family. We are here to demonstrate that we are indeed one family. We are in discussions with Israeli businessmen to help facilitate the creation of high-tech farm settlements, small-scale industrial parks in Cross River, in Delta, Imo, Ebonyi, and Benue states for now. That's the kibbutzim that you have in Israel. We are going to recreate it. Should the scheme prove successful, which of course it will, we shall roll it out across Biafra land. The unmasking of Jubril al-Sudani, the fake zoo president, will continue unabated. By the time we are done with Jubril and his handlers, Lugard will be truly ashamed of what he created. I would like to see how Nigerians are going to participate in elections where one of the names on the ballot paper is a dead man buried in Saudi Arabia. It is a shame that Nigeria, the zoo, is heading ingloriously towards implosion. We understand the enemy has announced yet another round of Fulani military invasion of our land in the name of Operation Pattern Dance to help facilitate the rigging of elections for Jubril al-Sudani and the cronies of the Sokoto Caliphate across Nigeria. What I said previously still stands, and there is no going back. Chukwukika Biama is my witness that any reported shooting or killing of any Biafran by this Fulani Janjaweed army of the zoo will be avenged. Those who previously doubted our resolve should ask Okezipazo what he's feeling or going through right now in Abia State. I am placing our colonial master on notice, Britain. They are our colonial master till tomorrow morning. That should the government of Theresa May give the go-ahead for any innocent Biafran to be killed again on Biafran soil, Nigerian soldiers will pay the price for it. Let the world not say we didn't say it. This Nigerian army have refused to engage ISIS in the major theaters of battle in the north, in the Sahel. This same Nigerian army led by Buratai refused to counter the killing spree of Fulani headsmen across the Middle Belt, but they can easily mobilize the same army to come to the south, to come to Biafra land, to rig elections, FINEC, and for their friends, and to kill non-Muslim populations with impunity. That will not happen. Policemen are being forcibly deployed to face Boko Haram terrorists, whereas the army that prides itself as the defender of Nigeria, they are the ones running scared from the battlefield. Instead, they are being sent to kill civilians in order to sustain Fulani hegemonic control of the zoo called Nigeria. Everything in Nigeria is upside down. That is why I struggle to understand why there are universities in Nigeria, because people go to school but end up not learning anything. Is it the job of the police to fight insurgency? That's my question. The most astonishing thing is that people are going about their normal business, pretending all is well when logic is being turned on its head. Can anybody identify any country in the world where the police is sent to the war front and the army deployed to carry out police duties? No, it is only in Nigeria, with her ignorant professors and pseudo-intellectuals busy scavenging for campaign funding for elections when impunity is now the order of the day. None of this is surprising. After all, Nigerians cannot differentiate between a dead Buhari and an impostor from Sudan. How can you expect them to distinguish between the constitutional roles of the police and that of the army? What APC have succeeded in doing is democratizing ignorance, impunity, and cowardice amongst the populace. Can anybody say precisely why Sheikh El Zagzagi, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, and Jewish adherents are still in prison till today? There is nothing about the judiciary in Nigeria that leads me to believe that Nigeria is salvageable. Even the judiciary. So this evening, as we take stock of what we have passed through in the past year and in the years before it, let us continue to remain committed and faithful to the ideals of Biafra as espoused by IPOB, and prepare ourselves to be the first partakers of a Biafran nation that beckons and shall surely emerge in this generation. I thank you all for listening this evening, and may Elohim bless Biafra. May Elohim bless Israel and all men and women of goodwill around the world, but above all, may Chukwukika Biama bless IPOB.
Obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Kanyi kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi